Picture this. You're walking across a stunning garden bridge, the air filled with the scent of blooming flowers, the Blue Ridge Mountains stretching out before you. For over a decade, the Lake Lure Flowering Bridge in North Carolina offered exactly that, a peaceful escape that drew more than 150,000 visitors a year. But now, that chapter is closing. After nearly a century standing proudly over the Rocky Broad River, the Flowering Bridge will soon be gone, a casualty of the devastating Hurricane Helene that tore through the region in September 2024. The decision to demolish it has hit locals and travelers hard, marking the end of an era for one of the area's most beloved attractions. The Lake Lure Flowering Bridge wasn't always a tourist hotspot. Built in 1925 as a three-arched concrete bridge, it served as a simple roadway until it was decommissioned decades later. For years, it sat unused, until 2013, when a passionate group of volunteers called Friends of the Lake Lure Flowering Bridge stepped in. They saw more than an old structure. They saw a canvas for nature's art. The group transformed the bridge into a living garden, filling it with colorful blooms, whimsical decorations, and creative landscaping. It quickly became a must-see for anyone exploring Western North Carolina. For visitors, the Flowering Bridge was more than just a walkway. It was an immersive experience. Strolling across it meant being surrounded by vibrant floral arrangements, fragrant herbs, and themed gardens that changed with the seasons. The bridge offered panoramic views of Lake Lure and the surrounding Blue Ridge Mountains, creating endless photo opportunities. It wasn't just a stop on a road trip. It was a destination in itself, and for many locals, it became a symbol of pride, creativity, and community spirit. All of that changed when Hurricane Helene arrived in September 2024. While the storm was no longer at full hurricane strength by the time it reached western North Carolina, its remnants brought intense winds and torrential rain. The Lake Lure area suffered severe flooding, and debris from surrounding mountainsides was swept into the town. Beloved spots like Chimney Rock Village, the shores of Lake Lure, and the Flowering Bridge were left in disarray. The storm's force was so strong that parts of the bridge collapsed, and the once vivid gardens were washed away almost overnight. In the months following the storm, the town faced an agonizing question. Could the Flowering Bridge be saved? Local officials, community members, and volunteers hoped for a miracle. Engineering teams were brought in to assess the structure, and two separate reports came back with the same devastating conclusion. The bridge's structural integrity was beyond repair. One end had collapsed entirely, and other sections were dangerously unstable. Repairing it would be both financially unfeasible and unsafe for future visitors. By mid-2025, after nearly a year of discussion, the town of Lake Lure made the heart-wrenching decision. The Flowering Bridge would be demolished. The official date for demolition is set for August 18, 2025. This wasn't just about tearing down concrete and steel. It meant saying goodbye to a space where thousands of memories had been made. For the Friends of the Lake Lure Flowering Bridge, who had poured more than a decade of effort into maintaining the gardens, it was a painful reality to face. Yet even as the bridge's days are numbered, the non-profit organization behind it is refusing to let its legacy fade. Their on-site education center, which survived the storm, will reopen to the public. This space will continue hosting gardening classes, art workshops, and community events, keeping the spirit of the Flowering Bridge alive in a new way. Plans are already underway to create new gardens nearby, offering fresh spaces for visitors to enjoy the beauty of Lake Lure's natural landscape. From a tourism perspective, losing the Flowering Bridge is a major challenge. It was one of Lake Lure's top attractions, and its absence will be felt by local businesses that relied on steady visitor traffic. However, the region still has much to offer. The dramatic scenery of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the trails of Chimney Rock State Park, and the peaceful waters of Lake Lure remain strong draws. With creative planning and community effort, there's potential for new attractions to emerge and keep the area thriving. In many ways, the story of the Lake Lure Flowering Bridge mirrors the resilience of the community around it. While nature took away the physical structure, it hasn't erased the passion of the people who built it. Visitors may no longer be able to stroll its blooming path, but the bridge's legacy will live on in photographs, in shared memories, and in the inspiration it has given to future projects. It's a reminder that tourism isn't just about landmarks. It's about the experiences and feelings those places create. As August approaches and Demolition Day draws near, locals and fans from across the country are reflecting on what the Flowering Bridge meant to them. Its loss is bittersweet, but it also opens the door to reimagining Lake Lure's future. The community's determination to create new, beautiful spaces ensures that while one chapter is closing, another is about to begin. The bridge may be gone soon, but the heart of Lake Lure, its natural beauty, its welcoming spirit, and its creativity will continue to shine for years to come. For many, the Flowering Bridge was more than a tourist stop. It was a ritual. Couples celebrated anniversaries there, families posed for holiday photos, and travelers discovered it by chance, only to leave with unforgettable memories. The bridge's mix of artistry and nature had a way of slowing people down in a world that moves too fast. Its loss is sparking conversations about the importance of preserving unique attractions before they're gone. Across the country, other towns are taking note, realizing that community-led projects can become treasured landmarks, and that protecting them should be a priority. The story of the Lake Lure Flowering Bridge also highlights how vulnerable tourism can be to natural disasters. Hurricane Helene's destruction wasn't limited to this one spot. It impacted businesses, infrastructure, and livelihoods throughout western North Carolina. Climate-related events are becoming more frequent and intense, and communities that rely heavily on tourism are finding they need to plan for the unexpected. For Lake Lure, this means looking at long-term strategies to keep the area welcoming and accessible, even in the face of future storms. As the demolition date nears, many locals are organizing farewell gatherings and photography projects to capture the bridge one last time. The Friends of the Lake Lure Flowering Bridge are encouraging visitors to share their favorite photos and stories online, creating a digital archive that will preserve its memory for future generations. While the physical bridge will no longer stand, its beauty and history will remain part of Lake Lure's identity. And as the town begins shaping new attractions, the Flowering Bridge's spirit, a mix of creativity, community, and nature, will be a guiding light for what comes next.